Perth Racing Preview is where the Straight Up team finds you the winners, and here's the Straight Up team with their preview of Saturday racing from Ascot.
Well, we'll make that Bunbury, TJ, but that's the way it is. We haven't got a Bunbury preview for this, and we welcome along McGinnity. How are you, my good friend?
Oh, hi, Mart.
You're looking well.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for noticing.
Yep.
And disregarding the sweat patches.
The patches.
Hello, Rolls.
Hello, Brad.
We'll talk about a couple at Ascot, I reckon, Mart.
Yeah. On Sunday.
The Lex.
And the 1,000 guineas.
Oh, the Lex.
Time honoured.
Piper. To Lex, if you're listening, very good afternoon. 7 away from 4 o'clock. 10, 1, 6 and 2 confirmed there at Townsville. Bunbury Cup, Bunbury Stakes. Double header.
Indeed.
How good.
Coming down, Mart?
Oh, I'd love to. But no, I can't.
Busy.
Yeah, we're here.
Oh,
Here.
very busy then.
You going down?
Negative.
To Bunbury.
Negative. Fashions on the field almost enticed me, but...
Yep.
Thought you'd be a shoo-in, Bradley. It's surprising.
Oh, it's a shame.
Are you working down there?
I am, yes. After actually playing a game of footy down there on Saturday morning. South Bunbury.
Hands Oval.
Yeah, hands oval. Should be in good nick as well after the weekend. Just gone, so bit of a double header
For you.
for me. Looking forward to it.
Should be good.
47 touches on my head.
So
I'm
Bunbury,
excited. Footy's back.
the rails at 3 metres there on Saturday at Bunbury.
You know what I reckon, Mart?
What?
Assume on pace until it proves otherwise.
Yeah, it just depends if Potsy gets the sledgehammer out. But we'll fair pad.
Does a ripping job, Potsy.
We'll
The
go
great
in
man.
with the indication that it's going to be a fair surface, Mart, for all involved. For all involved, I believe that, from what I understand, the track has played in recent times quite even with the rail in the 3 metre position.
And just an overview of the two races. Stakes a little bit short on number, but a big field for the Bunbury Cup.
Yeah, a little bit sure light on the Bunbury Stakes, but capacity field, as you mentioned, Mart, for the Cup, and a very open Cup as well. I think there's going to be plenty of betting interest for a number of different runners in the feature race out there on the weekend, Brad.
Plenty of varied opinions and good money in the Cup. And the Stakes is a nice little field, intriguing field, and there's plenty of quality there as well. So we're looking forward to getting stuck into it, Mart.
I'll tell you what we'll do. Why don't we have a look at the two races that you've gone up for at Ascot on Sunday, because we've got these horses in the yard. We're only about 4 minutes away to start for the next at Pinjarra. So let's run through the horses for the 1,000 guineas and also the Lex Piper.
Righto, we will start. Do you want to start with the market, Mart, and I'll load these bets up.
Right. 1,000 guineas. Noah Quintilli's 51. Now, Glasgow Lass. She's been 484.60. Ron's Final Flutter 13. Flower of Gold 7 to 550. GG Pops is 10 to 850. Summer's Legacy spec'd into 26. Hell of a Goddess 21. Twilight Tale 390 to 360. Fun Charles 850. Casa Venus 71. Mississippi Dawn is 26. Machine Gun Gracie at 750. Nicky's Affair and Invincible Thief both 151. That's 1,000 guineas.
Early LPM, Mart, local pro money, Twilight Tale there, 700 at the 390. GG Pops, if you don't mind, 500 at the $10. Another 500 at the 950. Machine Gun Gracie, 500 at the 750. Glasgow Lass, it's almost text message money. But there's been money. Hell of a Goddess as well. He can't send out 2 texts, can he?
Group text.
The Dutch.
The family group chat.
The family group chat. Feature race Dutch. Money Hell of a Goddess, yes. Money Glasgow Lass, yes. More money Machine Gun Gracie. So a good little book here, Mark.
Lex Piper Stakes, and this is over the 1,600, and number 1 is All Grunt as your $2.70 favourite. Too soon around the 320s been backed in. Later Alligator is 12. Playfair is 14. Sales Session 460. Kum is 91, and Max Who's Stappen is 81, and Superfluous is 6 to 550.
Early LPM, All Grunt, 1,400 at the 250 mark. The sharp money from there has been for Arcum and Too Soon. Arcum Too Soon.
Good Quenella.
Story of my life. Too Soon's the one where the Sharks are circling Too Soon, but expecting more support for All Grunt.
That's
Good little
probably,
lineup.
we can't get any better than that. You've topped us early.
Yeah, I think we can sign off on that.
Just played the right bower on us and won the game.
Let's leave it with the team at 7+ for the rest of the afternoon.
Any thoughts those two races at this stage, Riley, or a bit early?
Yeah, a little bit early. Haven't actually had a chance to get stuck into that form on Sunday yet, Marty, but a couple of very competitive fields. There's going to be plenty taking different angles across both of them. Gee, I love the win of... I know it was only a maiden, but Machine Gun Gracie, that was a very impressive maiden win at Pinjarra over the mile. I'm really looking forward to seeing how she measures up against some of these more proven fillies in this grade. Twilight Tale could be a star from what we've seen in her first two career runs. Bred beautifully for Peter's Investments, drawn another plum barrier, gets in on the minimum as well for Clint Johnston Porter. No surprise that there's been early support there. And fillies, we know what they're capable of at the top of the tree there in Glasgow Lass. Ron's Final Flutter, Flower of Gold. Glasgow Lass was close to the run of the race without any luck in the challenge last start, and Flower of Gold was probably, many will argue, equally as good in second. So,
what a lineup. That's so intriguing to watch that race, and there's progressive talent everywhere, and it's not just in one part of your Navigator speed map mart. It's leaders, it's midfielders, and it's back markers. So it was very exciting, and just love that that Machine Gun Grace. One of those machinos that just bowls along at the same pace through the winning post as it was at the 400, and looked like it almost had another lap in it. So yeah, really excited to see these fillies get together.
Okay, let's commence our look now at the big meeting at Bunbury on Saturday, and it commences with the Bunbury Ford West Speed Platinum Handicap. It's over the 1,690 metres, and the first is due to get underway at 12:19. One Success Play, $757. Two Terra Teef is $1.60 and $1.45. Striking Fella 21 to 17. Roundabout Glory 15-14. Bell's Journey 14-12. Best of the Gods has been firm at 7, and Hula Hoops at $34.
Happy to play early at Terra Teef, Mart. 1,300 there at the $1.60. Roundabout Glory, 300 places at the 330. Another 500 there, Terra Teef at the $1.50. Pretty much small stuff after that. This will be anchoring a few multis tipping rolls.
Yes, you'd think so. Bradley, she was very impressive last weekend. It was a pretty soft, stylish win. It was the win of a horse who could continue to progress through these lower grade Saturday races. Brad, as expected, she's very short on the backup. Out to the mile, I will say 59 kilos is a fair bit of weight to carry for a fairly slight mare. There isn't a lot of her in Terra Teef, and she does jump up 3.5 kilos at the weight, stepping up in trip. So it is a bit more of a task for her this weekend. Perhaps my only concern with her, but I do think she's got the class and ability edge on these, Brad, and expect her to be winning, but no interest at that price. Best of the Gods is going well, was 1,300 to the mile last start, did a lot of the bullocking work throughout on a strong tempo. I didn't mind how he whacked away late in defeat, and maps for a similar run in bar, I guess, the favourite, what many would argue is a lesser race 7 days later. So I can understand there being some, if you like your exotics, some support for, or even an each-way play, support for the 6 Best of the Gods. And another runner I did want to touch on quickly, Roundabout Glory, was freshened up last start, and I thought was very unlucky not to have won that race. Looked to be absolutely bolting when completely chopped out very late in the piece, and that race has proven to be a nice little midweek form references as well. And this time around he draws to well and truly stay out of trouble in a small field, and both of his career wins have been at Bunbury as well, something to note. So clearly appreciates the home deck.
Yeah, could absolutely entertain a placed top 2 bet sort of activity Roundabout Glory, because I concur that it was pretty stiff. But yeah, Territif looks the one, doesn't it, Mart? The rising distance and the weight combination probably a slight concern if you want to have any concerns at all, but that's about it.
Okay, Mickey just went down in that second race with the 4. He went 2.49 and it has just been nosed out on the line. Pakenham race number 4 to go in 5.5. 2 Trust Sylvester 151. 3 Cheers 12. 4 Cosmic 14. Number 6 is Skull Morley 290. 7 Chorzette 950. 8 Clavellas 11. Number 9 is Gig and Buck at $8. 10 Mollify 280 from 5 for Zach Spain. 11 Moonlight Romance at 13. And 13 Hey Tsuru 154. Damien Lane is riding Skullmore Lee here. It's $3.90 into $2.90 after he's ridden the first 3 on the card at Pakenham. Race 2 at Bunbury on Saturdays. The Bunbury Brighter Handicap over the 1,690 metres. And start time here is 12:54. 1 Filthy Habits, $5.50 into $4.60. 2 Here for Checks has been firm at $3. 3 Big Day On It, $14. 4 What a Prince, $31. 5 Above the Peg, $4. 6 Manavendra, $7.50 into $4.60. Forever Dreaming is $9.50 and Red Dwarf, $41. I had to.
Here for Checks, 400 wins at the 260. Manavendra, 300 at the 750. Here we go. Another 200 there at the 7. So we have LPM, Local Pro Money, and a bit of Eastern States Pro Money as well there. Manavendra. Filthy Habits, Mart. Your old pal.
Got a few.
Stable name.
Got some sharp local and Eastern States Pro Money there. Yeah, a bit of a concern for mine too, but there's a few keen, so...
Oh, no, I like it first up.
Who we'd are, there we go.
Blinkers off, though. That's tricky, isn't it? Winkers again.
Always appreciate you telling me how you like it, Martin. So there's 300 there at the 5, another 300 at the 480, another 300 at the 480. Above the Peg, 500 at the $4. Lane Train on the back up at Bunbury rolls.
Yep, danger.
Toot toot. That's about it.
Yeah, tricky race for mine, Bradley. I love Filthy Habits. He's just a tough on-speed commodity, isn't he, Mart? Resumes here off the back of a couple of trial wins. He did take a few runs to come up last preparation. I'm going to suggest that perhaps first up mile here, blinkers off. With the 60 kilos on his back, he might just need this one and maybe another one as he builds into his campaign, but have plenty of respect for the kind of horse that he is. Above the Peg is the real watch runner. No surprise there. He loves the 7-day backup. He's run some cracking races, arguably career best races off the backup. In his career, he's going to find this a lot easier than both races he's contested since joining Michael Lane. He was beaten 2.5 lengths by Captain Pluto at Pinjarra. On Magic Millions Day, ran last, beaten 4 lengths last weekend when very flat in a similar race behind Fluoro Neuro. I'd suggest this race is probably 2, maybe 3 lengths easier than that event he contested last weekend. Gets Chris Parnham on board and gets to his new home track on the backup. You only need to go back 3 starts ago, Brad, and he was beaten under a length by Sensational over the mile in 72 plus company. So he does look very well placed. He's the way I've gone from a tipping perspective, but no interest in the race for me. And there's a case to be made for Manavendra as well, who has beaten home Above the Peg in both of his runs this preparation and was probably unlucky not to have beaten him by a little bit more first up at Pinjarra as well, and maps to lob in a very similar position in running with Clint Johnston Porter jumping on board as well.
Yeah, very trappy race for mine rolls. Filthy Habits first up, always a query about how screwed down they might be. Here for Checks, you'd be backing it to win 2 in a row. Above the Peg.
Had a think last weekend as well.
Yeah, Above the Peg, looks like a target race form's been just okay, but does tick a few boxes. Manavendra might be looking for the 2,000 by now. Not really sure. Forever Dreaming sort of seemed to have gone off a little bit, so a bit trappy for mine, Mart.
Yeah, it's a trap.
I was listening to, a little while ago now, an interview with, it was either one of the boys, Dan or Ben, and they suggested that perhaps Manavendra may even be a bit better suited over these middle distances as opposed to being a genuine out-and-out stayer.
Yep.
So you can understand why off his first couple of runs there's been a bit of support there at the odds.
Okay, so nothing in the book either after the first two races. We go to race 3, City and Regional Fuels Handicap over the 1400. Get your bets on at Pakenham. We're a couple of minutes off. And Fluoro Neuro on the back up at $2.70. Influencing at $4.60. A Material Witness spec'd into 15. Money for Yarralay, 7 to 6. Heskett is 16 into 12. Without Reg at 8.50 and Brimstone at 5.50.
Ooh, Mart. Fluoro Neuro, 500 at the 270. Brimstone, this is the one a couple did like early, including 450 there at the 550 and also a nice bit of 400 there at the 480.
We've got the race number 3 at Bunbury on Saturday, and this is the City and Regional Fuels Handicap. Favourite is Fluoro Neuro at 270. Riley's going to find us a winner.
I will, Marty, hopefully, once I get my mic turned on. Fluoro Neuro, he's airborne at the moment. He's showing consistency that he previously probably hasn't in his career to date. Brad, he's put 2 wins in a line, sitting closer. There have been races run at pedestrian tempos, I will say that, and he has been able to utilise that turn of foot that he's got. It's interesting to see how he does handle it here. If there is a bit more tempo in the race, which I think there looks like there may be, there could be with the engagement of William Pike aboard Influencing drawn 1, Material Witness we know is an on-speed runner drawn in 3, and I do think he's likely to settle a fair way further back than he has in his recent starts, but this is what many would argue a weaker race than the one he put away 7 days ago once they get to Saturday. Brad, I just think he's well enough found at the price, given a few queries around the map for him and potentially the setup here this time around with that additional weight that he's got to carry on his back as well. I like Brimstone here for Robin Kate Whitten. He's a former New South Welshman who hit the line last start, second run here in WA like a horse who just really crying out for some extra ground up to the 1,400 metres, which he gets here. He got home in the best last 200 of that race behind Watch Me Rock. I like that form reference. I'm expecting it to hold up as we get deeper into this program, and we've seen Angel Undercover frank that form last weekend at listed level as well, Marty, finishing right there with Twain's Angel and Generosity in the Marjorie Charleston. So you can certainly respect that form reference. Gets in with a featherweight 52.5 kilos here after Luke Campbell's claim. And I thought there was an opportunity to be a bit more aggressive from that good draw, sit closer in running, and presents on the Whitten's home track at Bunbury as well. So got into $4.80, now drifting back out to $5.50, which was opening price. Happy to have something on Brimstone here in race number 3, Brad.
Me too. Our $7.50 around the traps, that'll be... Yeah, we went up pretty short. We thought we were pretty safe and out of the way, and the punters still came, but the bigger prices are available around the traps now. So saying that it may well continue to drift, although there will be some more late money by the looks of things. But, yeah, $7.50 around the traps, that's pretty comfortable for me. I thought both its runs this prep have been great. So
okay, both boys on Brimstone. Race 3, number 7 at Bunbury on Saturday. Correct, you're on straight up. Almost 25 minutes past 4 o'clock. We're up to race number 4 at Bunbury on Saturday, and that is the William Barrett and Sons Vase Handicap over the 1,200 metres and 1. Play that. Funky Music is $12. 2. Lon's Delight is $6.50 into 5. Number 3, Miss Flirtatious, $7.50. 4, Just St James, $3.10 to $2.70. 5, Cessation is around $2.90. 6, Bellini Miss at $19. 7, Mini Winnie, $51. And 8, Split Jete at $51.
Good start to the book, Bart, because we lay Cessation at the $3, 600 there at the $3. We laid Just St James, 1,000 at the $3. Another 600 Just St James at the 270. 500 Lons to lead at the 550. Those 3 are very much dominating the hold to the extent of every other runner. To the exclusion of every other runner, sorry.
Yeah, I had 2 runners of interest for me here, and Just waiting to see what the market does with Lon's Delight, Brad, given Bunbury not always the easiest of places to make ground, and the fact that he is likely to be back there last in running, but he's back pretty sharply in class here on his recent runs. He never got cover in the run last start, only peaked very late as well. I thought it was a really good effort, beaten just over a length. Watch Me Rock, who, as we know, that's form I'm going to be following through this program. Angel Undercover as well, who we know performed out of her skin in that Marjorie Charleston. Smaller field should suit the kind of horse that he is if he can just get back and wind up into the race. And there looks to be a bit of tempo in this race on paper as well. And as a previous winner at Bunbury as well, Brad, and potentially with Chris Parnham sort of back to her inside, I thought this looked a nice setup for Lon's Delight. I'm hoping for something $6 plus to be getting involved there with him, and hopefully over the first three races we have seen some horses make a bit of ground from midfield or just worse than, to really sort of re-emphasise that point. But I just think from a price sense, he poses more value for me at the moment than just St. James, who, very respecting of how he's going, he's got plenty of upside. He's got a lot more upside than most of these, I think.
He's unlucky, Pinjo.
Luckless last start. It was very unlucky. Rocking Gem, subsequent winner. That race has held up a strong form as well. Shooting Spirit, dominant winner midweek through that same race. Start prior to that, remarkable win at 1,200 metres in a West Speed Platinum. Not the strongest of races, but just where he settled in running and how he just dropped them off over the final 100 metres was very impressive. He's a horse going places, and that West Speed Platinum's actually proven to be strong form. 3 subsequent winners, 3 subsequent place getters as well. So there's plenty of ticks for just St. James. I just think at the price, given Lon's Delight's coming through stronger races, that there's perhaps a little bit more value with him. But happy to just sit and wait and see what the market does, as I would like a bit of a better price, Brad.
I'm inclined to agree. It is a horse that tends to drift, doesn't it? Quite often, Lon's Delight. So we should get a better price. The other one I'm looking at, Miss Flirtatious, it's being spat out a bit by the market. It looks the one to me that's going to get a pretty nice, cheap, on-pace type of run, and on its day can absolutely take care of these. So
did you think Cessation would burn across and cross her, and she then takes the trail?
I've got no idea. I think we're all sort of guessing in regards to that. You've also got to play that funky music in the race as well.
Got speed.
So there's a bit there, so it'll be interesting to see what happens early. But at least sort of by virtue of the draw, Miss Flirtatious can sort of posse where comfy.
What's old Slippery SJ up to here with the horse I like in Bellini Miss?
Well, he had one.
No trial.
He produced one first up. No trial yesterday. He got them yesterday.
She's capable. Don't be put off thinking she needs a mile or fresh. She's run some really good races, and she's won at 1,300 and 1,100. So just keep an eye if there's any money for it. You know what he's up to.
For the graphic, Mark?
Oh, no. I'm not in. There's no graphics anymore. No. Not that I tipped 4 out of 5 one day, and they left me. They gave me 3 that I never tipped unplaced.
Yeah,
so
right.
She's a nice horse.
4 out of 5.
Yeah,
4 out of 5, Mark.
4 out of 5. Yeah.
Where's that? That
it's here somewhere. I don't know where it is.
There it is.
What's he doing out there? He's a bit slow today. So no tip, anyone?
No, not at this stage, but Lon's Delight, the runner of interest for me.
Price.
If they've shown they can make a little bit of ground up as well, Martin, over those first 3 races.
Righto, let us go to race number 5, and this race is due to go at 2:55 over the 1,200 at Bunbury on Saturday. Loves Talking, 250. Spirited Strike, 950. Artistry and Motion, 23 into 12. Fiery Spark is 13. Number 5, My Autora at 440.
My
Authorita. Number 6 is
Have it again, champ.
Mr. Chino at 31. 7 Hard Solo 20. I'll call it John. 8 Solar Crest 550. 9 Why She Stayed 61. 10 Pure Silver is 81. And 11 Searching Times 23 into 17.
I thought South Park would have been one of your shows, Mart.
Nah.
No?
No.
Right up your alley, South Park.
The big boy liked it. I wasn't a South Park man. Can't watch everything.
No, true.
What do we got here?
Well, have we got some activity here, Mart?
You'd think so, 2-year-olds.
Well, Searching Times, they liked the 23 early. A little sneaky 100 there, and then another couple of 100, and then into $17, and someone's had 500 each way on it, Searching Times. So Fiery Spark, 250 at the $9. Solar Crest, the money's starting to build up there. And Mr. Chino, there's obviously some punters thinking it'll run a nice race on debut. So the horses in the market Loves Talking, basically friendless at this stage. And also the debutante My Authoritar, which trialled very nicely, Rolls, is also friendless.
Yes, I think this is going to prove a very nice 2-year-old race moving forward, Marty. There are some really nice juveniles at big prices as well. In this one, this is one of the races of the day for mine. I've got a lot of respect for the favourite Loves Talking, who ran time in a strong debut win over the 1,100 metres. Thought that perhaps she may have to do a bit more work to get across here from the barrier up to 1,200 metres, extra kilo on her back. So I thought perhaps she might be a little bit more vulnerable this time around. So the $2.50 in this field I thought was well and truly under the odds with Loves Talking. Solar Crest was taking some very good ground off her late in the piece for Tony Triscari on debut. Gets 2 kilos on her here and looks very well suited off the manner in which she finished off on debut up to the 1,200 metres. So I thought Solar Crest was capable of turning the tables on our favourite here at the price, but a number of runners that haven't made their debuts yet. First time we see them at the track. Marty, My Authoritar couldn't have trialled much more impressively for Dan Morton. Brad, they've been very impressive pieces of work, hasn't been asked for a great deal and looked as though he also had a great deal left to offer in both of those public appearances as well.
Completely agree. And if it does get out to about that 550 range, My Authoritar, that will be getting me. My issue with this race, Loves Talking, it's drawn the wider skate. I'm not sure I see too many horses that are really going to want to hold it out. So I think it might get there quite comfortably, Mart. So maybe that barrier 11 might just give it the chance to amble across at its own leisure instead of having to do a bit of work, and it might actually work out in its benefit.
I thought we could see a horse like Artistry in Motion kick up from barrier 1, and I thought he trialled really nicely as well. And no surprise, there's been some support there at the price. Really like the recent trial, Marty, of Fiery Spark for Wolfie.
Ole Kirk.
He's an Ole Kirk, and they've really hit the ground running, as we know. Has a bit of a tricky barrier to work with, but just his work late under light riding extended really nicely over the 1,000 metres. I think 1,200 metres a really nice kick-off point for him, and he could be a really nice horse. I thought it was a really impressive trial. $13 is a big price, and also obviously Search and Times brings intrigue on debut. Full sister to Search and Rocks has trialled really well letting in. Also, lovely soft draw. We know Search and Rocks was a dual winner early in her career as a 2-year-old, and from all reports, Brad, she's got every bit as much ability as at the same stage of her career. So intrigued to see how she goes as well on the weekend. Yeah, very good info there. And Spirited Strike was a really nice debut and can run a fantastic race as well. This, as Riley alluded to, there's might be a bit to go on with this 2-year-old race.
Okay, just having a look at mixed tip at Pinjarra, race number 3, led all of the way and then gunned down late and missed the kick for the punters. Okay, so are we putting one in the book here?
No, nothing in the book for me, but this is going to be a very strong form reference moving forward for the juveniles, Mart.
Okay, we're about 5 minutes off our next event from Pakenham, so we should be able to get race number 6 in, the Bunbury Volkswagen Handicap over the 1,100 metres, and this is time to go at 3:34. Number 1 is Ruler Rock at 12, 2 Sky Duke is 7.50, number 3 is Magna Sonic at 15, 5 Barney's World 7.50 into 5, 6 Scorpion Ruler $4, 7 Best Mood $7.50, 8 Prize Recruit $7.50, 9 is Brazen Bid at 5, and 10 Fans $31.
Local Pro Money Scorpion Ruler 550 at the 460, which you cannot have again, but the punter that then had 600 at the 390, you can go again. Brazen Bid, a couple of $500 bets there at the 550. Barney's World, local pro money, 300 at the 750. What else have we got here?
Mart would have been a Barney's World man over South Park.
Barney's. No.
Yeah, I wonder what the appetizer was before that. Sky Duke, local pro money, 300 at the 850. And plenty of money piling up for Scorpion Ruler there, a number of $250 bets at that 390, 420 type range. Just a light deduction on that scratching there, Mart. Shouldn't be much of an effect at all in the market.
Hoping you might have something for us here, Bradley. I thought you could make a case for pretty much every runner in this field as a genuine winning chance. Very compressed market as a result. I thought this. I had absolutely no idea in this one. I thought in a similar vein to how you see the 2-year-old race unfolding, Brad, for Loves Talking, I thought perhaps that Sky Duke could get across and lead this despite drawing wide. I'm expecting they might look for a bit of cover with Scorpion Ruler, given what transpired after leading last start. Maybe that she might be a little bit better with something to chase, which could allow Sky Duke to get across and to the front. Second up, arguably better suited at 1,100 metres, I think, at a track he's performed very well at previously. I thought he could certainly give them something to run down at the each-way price. That's about as far as this race goes for me. You could make a case for pretty much every runner in this field, given how they're all going.
Yeah, for sure. The couple I'm looking at, Marta Prize Recruit, I think about $8 around the traps or something like that. It looks a nice enough setup for it. One I will consider backing late, because I think it'll continue to drift, is Ruler Rocket's actually put in some really nice runs last prep, and against better horses than this, that's for sure, and actually looks to map pretty well, and I wonder if this might be a bit of a target race for it.
Well, if he replicates his run 2 starts ago, he was beaten a length, Angel Undercover, beat home Rissoles and King Salute on that occasion after parking deep throughout, he'd be winning this race, but he's a very difficult horse to catch, Ruler Rocket. Not entirely convinced he's an apprentice's horse either. He does have his quirks.
Ooh, he's got some tricks, yeah.
And Brazen Bid's an interesting runner. Another of SJ's that's been freshened up after a disappointing run at 14 last start. Back to 1,100 metres here, and the start prior to last start, over 1,100 metres, was the best closer of the race into third, only a length adrift of London's Image. So you have to be respecting of that form.
We spoke to Mickey G yesterday on Drive, and he gave best mood. And there was a couple of reasons why he thinks this horse will run a much improved race there. Not saying it can win, but he thought it could run into the money.
Very capable horse on its day.
Gee, I thought he trialled really well prior to resuming, and his 2 runs have been quite disappointing for mine.
Yeah, he sort of suggested there were reasons that they've sorted out. Just back to the 1,100, the gear change there, and I think Blinker's on, isn't it? From
Blinker's
memory?
on, yeah.
Blinker's first time.
Expense it to really run an improved race. Yes, we're into the big ones now. The Tab Touch Bunbury Stakes. A very good afternoon to David Short, our good mate, listening in. This is over the 1,400 metres. A one-man crush is $5. 2 Triple Missile 10. Number 3 Vast Art 16. 4 Bruce Almighty is 31. 5 Desenia is 51. 6 Final Siren is 8. 7 Ice Peak Nick $4, and 8 Watch Me Rock into 2.15.
Mart.
Yes. How's yours?
Watch Me Rock, Mart. 1,500 at the 235, 1,000 at the 230, 500 at the 225, 500 at the 225, 500 at the 225. Ice Pick Nick, 350 at the 420, another 350 at the $4. Destinate. There's a bit of rank and file money. Destinate, the big price piling in. Plenty there. A little bit of snipping Triple Missile. Fair enough at that price. Mm-hmm. And plenty of your 100s, 200s, 300s. Watch Me Rock.
Watch Me Rock. Very, very nice horse on the up, isn't he, Bradley? Of what we've seen from him when they chucked those blinkers on him. Since that day, it's been all very impressive. Very good win, fresh at a distance. It was always going to be a little bit short of his best. To be honest, he looks a horse that could be lining up in a railway in November in the manner in which he's been winning and the progression that he's on. You go back to the carnival, and Brad, I know you were there with me that day. That win over the mile in November, it would have been the week before the railway. That was as dominant a win as you'll see. The horse was in front with 200 metres to go, and Pike had not moved a muscle on him. 1,400 metres here. should get a lovely run for Pike from the barrier, drops 4.5 kilos off his back down to the minimum. I do think there's obviously enough quality in this field to be respecting of, but I think he's the one on the up who's still only getting better and improving. And that's the way I'll be going. I've got a lot of respect for Ice Pick Nick. I thought he was huge in that Pinjarra Classic last start. Not concerned about his 1,400 metre record. He's been very stiff in his last 2 runs over the distance. Final Siren fought on really well in that same race, and Triple Missile, another very good return. Not given much of a chance from where he settled in the run, Brad, but he's just not showing a lot of gate speed at this stage of his career. Unfortunately, Triple Missile, I think he's likely to end up in the second half of the field once again, and I'm expecting Watch Me Rock to measure up in this company.
Yeah, tough to argue. Triple Missile, yeah, as you said, it was just, 100 metres after the start. It was game over for it, wasn't it? You can't win from that spot at Pinge. Final Siren was a really nice run. I reckon it would have probably won that race if it chose to lead. And you've got a horse like Vast Dart that's looking for this 1,400 and maybe even longer now, so it can run a really nice race as well. Ice Pick Nick, the money's there. Watch Me Rock, well, the money's always there, so just great race. Excited to have a look. Maybe a little sneaky bet Triple Missile, maybe each way or something like that.
Small field, but quality field, isn't it?
Yeah. It is. And just on that point you make there regarding Final Siren, obviously Man Crush drawn 4, a horse we know has done a lot of his work through his career leading. Is he just your lead by default here, or could you see a scenario where there's a lot of pressure from those 2 horses drawn the outside, Final Siren, Bruce Almighty even, and Final Siren gets across Man Crush?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. They'll probably... Yeah, it'll be interesting. It's very hard to have a firm opinion on what might happen there because tactics change sort of race after race, don't they, Mart?
If I'm Rebecca Bayliss, I'm saying to Lucy, I'd be trying to lead this race.
Just lead.
Yep, just lead. Get across Man Crush, who's not always the most sure thing out of the barriers in terms of stepping cleanly. I would be saying just lead on this horse.
Up to the 1,400, you might think Man Crush would be a little maybe quieter out just to try and get to settle very early because the 1,400 might be right at the end of his distance range.
Okay, that is the Tap Touch Bunbury Stakes. We're about 3.5 off our next at Pinjarra. We'll give you an update there, but we've got to sort a few things out here. Duppy, he's got the $100 Tab Touch voucher. Peter O'Neill sorted that out.
In the account?
In the account. Well, it'd be gone by now, so... Good on you, Dup, if you're listening. And the Mauler sent the mail and he said, any chance of reading it out. So here we go for the Mauler fans. He's been in terrific form. Wow. He must be... He's plagiarising someone, I think. Race 1, number 2, Terra Teef. Bit of value there. Race 2, number 2 here for checks. 3, 1, Fluoro Neuro. He seems to be aligned to that Williams stable. 4... 5, Cessation. Race 5, number 2, Spirited Strike. Race 6, number 9, Brazen Bid. 7, 8, Watch Me Rock. 8, 6, Captain Pluto. That makes... And 9, 2, Eccentric Nature. Fair day for the Williams stable.
6 from 9 for the Williams camp for the weekend.
Oh, he's a beauty. The Mauler. But get out there to Morley Mitsubishi and he'll buy your car and then they'll sell it out the back a little bit later on.
And then Mart will make 2% on the voiceover.
Means we can move on to race number 8. This is the big one at Bunbury on Saturday. It is the Swan Draft. Bunbury Cup over the 2,019 metres. Only they'd been the sponsor back then. 1, Alaskan God, 41. 2, Curramundi, 19. 3, Antique Miss, 550. Number 4, Blazing Away, 31. 5, Red Sun Sensation, 13 into 10. 6, Captain Pluto, 420. 7, Demolish, 21. In from 31. 8 is Fat Roy Slim, 126. 9, Fear the Wind, 26. Spect in. 10, Flower in the Wind is 81. 11, I Love Your Smile, 23. 12, Magic Whistle is 17. 13, Own the Queen, 650 into 550. 14, Sensational is $6. 15 is So War at 51. 16, We Ra Chew at 23. And the first Emergency Brave Contender is 81.
Ooh, nice each way bet early. Fat Roy Slim.
What?
Yeah, nice each way bet. I think 200 by 800 there at $126.
Oh.
Might be washing your car on Monday if that gets up.
Does need a tub.
Do mine as well. Double it up.
I'll get my Daisy Dukes off the line.
The Martin Morgan double.
I can have a chamois in each hand. Polish two at once. Own the Queen 1,000 each way at the 550.
Look at Big Red over here getting involved in the action, the winning photo. What's going on there?
I think he's just stirring them up.
Lockie's cracking gags, I think. Flare in the Wind 500 each way at the $81. Brave Contender 500 is... Red Sun Sensation 250 each way at the 13. Own the Queen, another 250 each way, another 200 each way, 200 each way, 200 each way. Antique Miss 500 and 500 there as well. Captain Pluto 400. Good betting and plenty of sharp money early. Demolish at that 30 is a chipping away each way there too. So really nice betting race as you'd expect. Big field, good competitive field. Means great punting, Ross.
Yeah, 100%, Brad. Not a lot of conviction from me in this one. I found the Detonator a tough form race to assess given the tempo at which it was run at. They were 13 lengths below benchmark to the 1,000. They were just crawling, Marty, and it played into the hands of those horses that settled on the speed. Antique Miss, Red Sun Sensation, Own the Queen. Own the Queen's an interesting runner because while she did have her chance again and she was parked leading on that really slow tempo, we haven't really been afforded the opportunity this preparation to see how much better she might be with some cover, bar her first up run way back over the 1,400 metres. So she's had some really bad luck in her other runs where she hasn't parked over the speed, where we haven't actually seen or been given the opportunity to see the best of her. I'm not with her at the price, but I wouldn't surprise me to see her really jump out of the ground with a bit of cover on the weekend. Sensational couldn't have done a lot more with the tempo of that race. Would have maybe liked to have seen a bit more from him late in that race, Brad, to have completely convinced myself that he's looking for the 2,000 metres, but gets Clint Johnson Porter on, soft run. There's lots of ticks there. I'm backing one each way. I'm making a good case for Demolish at the big odds, Brad. He went 7 weeks with a trial in between into the Detonator, and I thought his work late was super, as good as any other horse in the race, given he was held up in a pedestrian run race as horses were beginning to wind up into the contest. I thought it was a really, really good run from a horse we know more than measures up in the best staying stock we've got here in the West. He stays out of trouble here from the gate. Could obviously be a bit of a poison chalice drawing wide as well, but stays out of trouble this time around. 2,000 metres, no issue. That'll suit him. Brings that really strong staying form, as we know. Has a terrific second up record once he gets that run under the belt. And you could almost say he is second up here, given he was 7 weeks between runs from the Perth Cup, with that trial in between getting to the Detonator. I think $21 is a really nice price. $5.50 the place. I think that is your best each way bet of the day, Demolish in the Cup.
Did you hear Neville during the week talk about Demolish?
I haven't heard that.
He gave it a good push. Really good push. Unlucky. He just said the way that race was run, he called it pedestrian pace, gave it no chance. But the horse has been working extra well, and he was full of confidence about his chances in the Bunbury Cup.
Big price.
And the stable is just humming, isn't it?
Always.
Nifty.
So many I could get involved in. Curramundi getting out to sort of 20 to 1 was another one that was a really nice return and can win races like this, has this sort of ability. I think Fear the Wind is actually building to something quite nice and finally up to 2,000. So there are a couple that will absolutely be going into my novs.
Fear the Wind's a really interesting one. You'd think on paper that's a horrible draw for him. I agree. I think he is looking for this sort of trip now, Brad. But there's not a lot of speed in this race. You look at this race from a speed map perspective. Antique Miss, I expect them to be positive again. Magic Whistle from that wide gate will come across. I thought they might try and lead with Magic Whistle, given how he's been going. Yep. Stepping up into this sort of company. It could just provide a nice opportunity for Lucy to tag Luke Campbell across to try and find a position in that first 4 or 5 runners with Fear the Wind. And I do think if that's the case, without having to tramp deep throughout, then he's certainly far from the worst at that price as well, at that $26 mark with Tab Touch. I think he's certainly value at that price, but a lot of it will come down to what sort of spot Lucy can afford him in running from that barrier.
Yeah, I concur, because as soon as Magic Whistle gets to the front, I've got a feeling the brakes are going to go on. I think like a horse like Antique Miss, if she does go forward, will be happy to hand up the breeze to another horse. So Fear the Wind might be able to get pretty comfortably to the breeze. You look at horses drawn inside, like your Own the Queen will be looking for cover. Sensational looking for cover. Red Sun Sensation seems to always prefer to have cover. So the soft breeze is probably there, which you'd take that.
And there's been excuses with Fear the Wind. He was a super return given the layoff in that race over 1,500 metres on the 18th of January. Was perhaps a little bit flat second up, which can be the case with these staying types off a really long break, and then just wasn't suited at all with the tempo the Detonator was run at. So you could make a really strong case that he, despite what it might look on paper in the form guide, is going a lot better than it reads.
Yep, agree. But also, Mart, sorry.
Yeah. No, go on.
Well, Blazing Away, obviously, you've got to respect
I was about to say it.
There we go.
Very similar position in running the Detonator last year before he come out and won it.
It was very nice, sneaky run late, hit the line well.
So he won 2 Bunbury Cups.
He's won 2,
so,
yeah.
So going for the...
Remarkable.
When he won it last year, he was 11th, beaten 6 in the Detonator going in. So Harrow's...
He's following the right form.
Yeah, he's up to it again. And what prize? 31, isn't it?
It's that sort of race,
It's that sort of a race, isn't it? I think if you get novelties right, we better get some numbers for the tomato flogger. He'll be all over this, the pick 4. But numbers here?
Demolish
each way.
Yeah, Demolish each way, and Fear the Wind's the other one that I'm looking at a big price, and I can't get Captain Pluto anywhere near that price in this field for mine.
Yeah, I can throw them all in Novs. Also can throw Curramundi into Novs. It's that sort of race. It's just a cracking edition.
Pinjarra race 6, 3-2-1-5 cross statement. Zeph Johnson Porter 281.40. Too much talk $1.60. Special view 160. 610 Quinella 13.20. Exacta trifecta 32.30. First 4 3-2-1-5 65.98 and 3-16. Number 9 Mini Winnie out. We've got 2 minutes before Pakenham. Race number 6 and 1 missed the mark as a roughie out to 71. 2 and holders $8. We've looked at this. Affirmative ladder 6 into 4 for Jamie Mott. Mystery Blonde is 7.50 out to 9.50. Triumphantly is 4.20 into 3.10 for Carleen Heffel. 9 into 7.50 is 10 pocket size. Let's get through the betting at least for this last event of the day. Big night eventer, the MGIB handicap over the 1,400 metres, and the start time of the last is 5:15. They'll be having a rollicking time on the sponsors product there. 1 is out, 2 Eccentric Nature, 2.30. 3 Dug Another Hole, 17. 4 Flying South, 18. 5 Premium Girl, 4.20 into 3. 6 Mean Machine is 8. 7 Red Tory, 9.50. 8 Correct Choice is 16. 9 Zach Loves to Fly, 41. And 10 Lieutenant Dunbar is 34.
Oh, Mart. 1,500 early, Eccentric Nature at the 240.
Shorties.
Lieutenant Dunbar, 200 at the $34. Plenty of rank and file money building up Eccentric Nature, and the pros are starting to circle Premium Girl, Mart. And with that stable where there's smoke...
There's Indians.
600 at the 420, 500 at the 330, 500 at the 310, 400 at the 310, and plenty more lining up. Premium Gal.
Okay, we're into that last event. We've gone through the market. Now we want some winners.
Yes, hoping to round out the day with a winner, Mart. Eccentric Nature, I thought, perhaps regressed a little bit last start, stepping up to the 1,500 metres after being a good thing licked the start prior over the 1,200. Yes, he did get the job done, but he really only fell in. He was able to hold off Sale Session, who was an 1,800 metre maiden winner the start prior, dropping back to 1,500, and Cavallo Red, who struggled to win a Class 1. So there is perhaps a little bit of a query around the strength of that form. I do think back to 1,400 metres is going to suit him, but he does carry 3 kilos more now off the back of that win and is likely to settle last or near enough to last in running. So at the $2.30, he can win. Without me, I'm really keen on Premium Girl here to round out the program. She's a very genuine horse, and with a positive ride, I thought Chris Parnham could push forward to potentially even find the breeze here from the wide draw. DQ'd from 4 races last preparation. She was a dominant winner in this company in a graduation 60+ and gets into this race with a winnable weight here on the weekend. was able to grind down GG Pops first up with a massive gap back to third in the remainder of that field. And GG Pops, as we know, Mart, subsequently beaten a nose by Schmoove Mover and Secret Attraction last weekend, who would both certainly start favourites in this, and was fresh without a trial there. And I would think she'd have some improvement to come here second up at what is a much more suitable 1,400 metres, being a previous dominant winner over the mile. So there is a bit for Chris Parnham to have to navigate early doors, but I do think with a positive ride, if he can get to the breeze or somewhere up on speed without being posted deep, I think with his key danger likely last in running, he holds all the aces, and I was happy to make her the best bet on the program to round out the day.
Yeah, best bet there. Premium Girl, race 9, number 5.
No opinion, me, at the current prices.
All right, let's line them up. Your best bets for the program.
Best bets for the program, Marty. I think Brad and I are in alignment. Race 3, Brimstone, as he continues to drift in the market. Race 4, waiting for $6 plus, and to have seen them make a bit of ground early doors. But I think Lon's Delight poses a bit of value in race 4, but happy to hold fire on that bet till just for now. Race 7 in the feature, the Bunbury Stakes. Watch Me Rock. I'm expecting him to measure up and win. Race 8, making a good case for Demolish at the each-way price.
Yep.
I think he's the best value in the Cup. And race 9, Premium Girl, best bet on the program to round out the day.
Coming home with a big flourish.
Taking on the Pike in the last punters.
Mart.
Bradley.
Race 3, Brimstone, 750 around the traps. Race 5, My Authorita. If it gets to 550-ish, that'll be getting me. Race 6, I might have a little something on Prize Recruiter around that 850 mark, and I might have a little Savour All the Rocket as it continues to drift. And in the stakes, Triple Missile each way. Happy to invest on it again, because last start was a bit of a non-event and it was still a fantastic run. I don't think it could have gone much better, and this looks like an even better setup for it.
Yeah, okay, and don't forget those 2 black type races on Sunday out at Ascot as well. The Lex Piper and also the 1,000 Guineas.
Salivating.
Been very good today, Bradley, I've got to say that.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
Okay, we're into that last event. We've gone through the market. Now we want some winners.
Yes, hoping to round out the day with a winner, Mart. Eccentric Nature, I thought, perhaps regressed a little bit last start, stepping up to the 1,500 metres after being a good thing licked the start prior over the 1,200. Yes, he did get the job done, but he really only fell in. He was able to hold off Sale Session, who was an 1,800 metre maiden winner the start prior, dropping back to 1,500, and Cavallo Red, who struggled to win a Class 1. So there is perhaps a little bit of a query around the strength of that form. I do think back to 1,400 metres is going to suit him, but he does carry 3 kilos more now off the back of that win, and is likely to settle last or near enough to last in running. So at the $2.30, he can win. Without me, I'm really keen on Premium Girl here to round out the program. She's a very genuine horse, and with a positive ride, I thought Chris Parnham could push forward to potentially even find the breeze here from the wide draw. DQ'd from 4 races last preparation. She was a dominant winner in this company in a graduation 60 plus, and gets into this race with a winnable weight here on the weekend. Was able to grind down GG Pops first up with a massive gap back to third in the remainder of that field. And GG Pops, as we know, Mart, subsequently beaten a nose by Schmoove Mover and Secret Attraction last weekend, who would both certainly start favourites in this, and was fresh without a trial there. And I would think she'd have some improvement to come here second up at what is a much more suitable 1,400 metres, being a previous dominant winner over the mile. So there is a bit for Chris Parnham to have to navigate early doors, but I do think with a positive ride, if he can get to the breeze or somewhere up on speed without being posted deep, I think with his key danger likely last in running, he holds all the aces, and I was happy to make her the best bet on the program to round out the day.
Yeah, best bet there. Premium Girl, race 9, number 5.
No opinion, me, at the current prices.
All right, let's line them up. Your best bets for the program.
Best bets for the program, Marty. I think Brad and I are in alignment. Race 3, Brimstone, as he continues to drift in the market. Race 4, waiting for $6 plus, and to have seen them make a bit of ground early doors. But I think Lon's Delight poses a bit of value in race 4, but happy to hold fire on that bet till just for now. Race 7 in the feature, the Bunbury Stakes. Watch me rock. I'm expecting him to measure up and win. Race 8, making a good case for Demolish at the each way price.
Yep.
I think he's the best value in the Cup. And race 9, Premium Girl, best bet on the program to round out the day.
Coming home with a big flourish.
Taking on the Pike in the last punters.
Mart.
Bradley.
Race 3, Brimstone, 750 around the traps.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Race 5, My Authorita. If it gets to 550-ish, that'll be getting me. Race 6, I might have a little something on Prize Recruiter around that 850 mark, and I might have a little Saver All the Rocket as it continues to drift. And in the stakes, Triple Missile each way. Happy to invest on it again because last start was a bit of a non-event and it was still a fantastic run. I don't think it could have gone much better, and this looks like an even better setup for it.
Yeah, okay, and don't forget those 2 black type races on Sunday out at Ascot as well. The Lex Piper and also the 1,000 Guineas.
Salivating.
Been very good today, Bradley. I've got to say that.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed another stimulating episode of Straight Up. All betting markets supplied by Tab Touch. All care, no responsibility went into the production of today's podcast.